We're going to look at estimating in this video. Now, estimating is an incredibly important skill because it gives you a sense of where your answer is, what the order of your answer is. If you had something, for example, 21.3 multiplied by 19.6, you could estimate both of these to be 20. So your answer, is around about 400. So it just gets you fairly close to the answer. So if you were working this out and you got the decimal point in the wrong place and you came up with 4,000 and something or 40 point something, you know that clearly that's an incorrect answer. Why? Because we've done a quick estimation and we know roughly the answer should be around about 400. So if I just pop that into a calculator, the answer we get is 417.948. So if you came up with 41.748 or 4174.8 because you've got the decimal in the wrong place, from our estimation, we can now figure out that we've made a mistake. And that's why this is a very useful skill. So if we look at the first question, 7.8 times 3.7. Well, I can estimate the 7.8 to be 8 and the 3.7 to be 4, so the rough estimate is 32. Okay, so these are meant to be done fairly quickly, just to get you close to the kind of answer that you can be expecting. Have a look at 12.3 times 4.1. Well, 12.3, I'll just round to 12. I'll keep the 4.1 as a 4. The rough answer I'm looking for is around about 48. Let's take a look at this one. 179.34 times 19.31. So if I'm going to estimate this fairly quickly, I'm going to change 179.34 to 180. I'll change the 19.31 to 20, 2 18s are 36, pop my 2 zeros at the end. My rough answer is about 3,600. Clearly that's a little bit too high because I've rounded everything upwards. It's going to be a little bit less than that. So it could be around about 3,400, 3,500. But as long as I'm not getting 350 or 36 or 35 or even something like 35,000 something, then we know that is way too high. Okay, have a look at this question. Pause the video now and come back when you've completed it. Okay, let's have a look. So 44.2, I can round to 45. So we've got 45 over here. 4.9, I'm going to round that to 5. 116, I can round it to 115, but I'm going to round it to 120. And 19.32, round to 20. 5s into 45 go 9, 20s into 120 goes 6. So roughly the answer is 15. Have a go at this one. Pause the video now and come back when you've done. Okay, so I've got 631.09, I'll just round that to 630 in this case. 11.21, I round it to 10. 119.3, I'll round it to 120. 21.4, I'll round it to 20. Well, 630 divided by 10 is 63. Take away 120 divided by 20 is 6, and that gives me an estimated answer of 57. But it takes us fairly close to what the real answer should be. So as I said before, if you come up with 545 or something like that, you know clearly it's a mistake. If you come up with 4.9 or 5.3, you know that's a mistake as well. So this gives you an idea in terms of where your answer should land and is it sensible. So let's have a look at this question. So I'm going to change this to be 40 times 60 divided by 10. Now, I can simplify if I choose to do so at this stage. I'll just multiply it for now. So we've got 2,400 over the top, divided by 10, which just gives me 240. If we take a look at this case, 39.1, I'm going to round to 40. 18.9, I'll make that into 20. And 0.49 is 0.5, which is a half. So 40 times 20 is 800. And you're dividing 800 by a half, which is going to be 1600, roughly. So let's just take you through that. 800 divided by a half. Remember, you keep the first number the same, change the sign to a multiplication, flip the second fraction upside down, and treat it like a multiplication. 800 times 2 is 1600, and 1 times 1 is just 1, hence we get the 1600. Another trick that is worth bearing in mind is that if you had something like 800 divided by a half, which is the same as 800 divided by a half here, you simply pick up the denominator, multiply the numerator, and you get 1600 over 1, which is just 1600. Having a look at this one, we'll just round it to 30 times 20 over 5. 30 times 20 is 600, divided by 5, which gives me 120. Have a look at the next one, pause the video, and come back when you've done. So here, 14.81, I'll round to 15. 97.3 is close to 100, square root of 100 is just 10. And 0.21, I'll just round it to 0.2 in this case, which is the same as a fifth. So 15 plus 10 is 25, and I'm actually dividing by a fifth here, so I know that I can pick up the denominator and multiply the top number there, which gives me 125. But if you're not sure, you might need to do this the long way around. So 25 divided by a fifth, keep the first number the same, flip the sign into its opposite, which is a multiplication, flip the second fraction upside down, you know 25 is a whole number, treat it like a multiplication. 25 times 5 is 125, all over 1, and you can see you get exactly the same answer. Okay, so here we have 34.6 under the square root sign. I'll just make that 36. So the square root of 36 is just 6. Take away, and I'll call 1.98 2, and 1.979, I'll call that 2 as well, which just gives me 4 over 2, and that gives me 2. So it's a super quick way of getting, like I said before, just an idea of where your answer should be, roughly what kind of answer you're looking at. So this is meant to be done fairly quickly. Okay, so 509.31, I'll round that to 510. 14.4, I'll call it 15, plus 5.9 squared, well 6 squared is 36. And that gives me 51 all over 51, 510 over 51, which means the rough answer I'm looking for is around about 10. So that was estimating. So as you've learned today, we're doing it fairly quickly. We're just trying to land close to where the answer should really be. So when you type something in the calculator, you can work out the exact answer and realize, is that a good, sensible answer that you have on your calculator screen? Or if you do it by hand on a piece of paper and you work it out, did you come up with a sensible answer? So if we're expecting around about 10 and you come up with 1.034, or you come up with, I don't know, 105.7, clearly we know that there's been a potential error, which then means that you can go back and check your working out and get the question correct. I hope you found that video useful. Please do subscribe to the channel. Click on the like icon and leave a comment in the comments section if you'd like to see other videos. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.